Hi, everybody. So I want to take you back to it was 2014, the spring, when I took my two youngest daughters to play lacrosse for the first time. I didn't know much about the game other than it was, growing in popularity. But I, did coach my girls. They all played travel basketball. They, played travel soccer, volleyball, tennis, field hockey. But this was, first lacrosse experience. Didn't know anything about it. They always, had a ball in their hands. I love sports. I love everything that sports has to offer. I was excited. New sport, lacrosse, great. Took them to the field. I even had gotten a call from the person running it who asked me to be an assistant coach, and I said, "Sure, I don't know anything about it, but I'll be happy to coach." So I went to the field, and the boys were on one side, wearing big, hard helmets, and the girls were on the other side, wearing nothing to protect their heads. And that's when I started, asking questions. I know head injuries are an issue in all sports. I talk in the book about some of my favorite NFL players who suffer, long term from head trauma. It's in the news. I've obviously read a lot about it. But as I was watching the game and seeing a sport that's played, above the head with a stick and a rock hard ball, it didn't make sense to me that the girls' heads were not protected. Especially then I looked over at the goalie, and the goalie is wearing a big hard helmet. But so just clearly seeing the need there and the potential chance, for injury, that's when, I came home. I thought I was just going to buy a helmet, saw there was no such thing. Later, we found studies showing girls lacrosse as high as second. A couple studies have it in concussion rates at the high school level behind football. I also know that girls suffer differently, and there's some studies which say even more than the boys. We just don't know much about head injuries, and we don't know the impact of just one of these accidental balls or stick to the head. But having four daughters, I celebrate. I love that they play sports. But what matters most to me is that I do the best that I can to protect their long-term health, and including and especially to me their brain health. So that's what I saw on the field, and that's why we've been on this mission for so long now. It took a while to make the headgear, but we were happy to make a first of its kind and provide protection for these girls.